Hi, and welcome to my reflection presentation. So I will be starting with my learner profile. So this is the first writing assignment that we had. Looking back at it, my original assignment and making the edits after the feedback, I'm able to distinguish between my first early writings and how I write today. So this is my updated one with the feedback given to me by Mrs. Sanchez, and includes both part one and two. So this is the first time I had to uh, go back and look at something that I wrote and make edits. So that was really new and interesting to me. Um, it also helped me develop my MLA formatting. So I had to change the formatting, the structure, edit all of the suggestions that Ms. Sanchez made. And all of that has grown since the first assignment. So um, I did have to fix all this information. I made my writing better, my structure better, and it is now all in MLA formats. The second thing I'd like to go over is my annotated bibliography. With my annotated bibliography, this one was, I'd luckily have done one before, but it was a different format. So I did have to learn that new for MLA format. Um, it did help me develop my critical thinking skills, my written communication skills, and also assess feedback. So with critical thinking skills, I had to read the ARRs that were assigned and look deeper into what I was reading and think about what the author was writing, what they meant to say, who the audience was, the problem, the solutions, and then also, my opinion on the writing. Um, my written communication skills did get better with the annotated bibliography because it is it was a assignment further into the semester, about halfway through, so I did see a big difference on how I wrote earlier in the year and now. um, I also had to assess the feedback that Miss Sanchez gave me, and my first draft did not have statements that connected to my theory or thesis statement. So without changing my own thoughts and input, I incorporated the suggestions that Professor Sanchez made. And now um, you'll see that I connected each one to my thesis question or my research question and my working thesis. So I had no idea that was something I had to do when writing an annotated bibliography. So with the theory paper, it checks 4 out of the 5 SLOs. You cannot write a cohesive academic paper without each one. So from there, I analyzed all 5 RRs assigned to gather information to find answers to my hypothetical theory. So my theory question is was my theory paper was literacy in the United States. So with that, I just developed strategies for invention. So I had to figure out what I was going to write about and eventually landed on the importance of literacy. Um, and I also developed the drafting. So we started with the map outline and then did each draft from there. Uh, I also learned to do self-assessment. So it helped me to read what I wrote, go back and edit it before submission for grammatical errors and cohesiveness before submitting my draft, just like that. I also was able to give feedback. I got feedback from my peers So we definitely had teamwork throughout this whole process and late draft edits after feedback from Mrs. Sanchez. I did my final draft, well, which I thought was going to be my final draft, but then I got some feedback from the Writing Center and made some edits from those suggestions as well. Um, I was also given the opportunity to provide feedback using the PQP format, praise, question, polish when reading others' work um, with the intent of providing this feedback. It elevates your contribution. Instead of the usual, this is great, good job, and not providing meaningful rhetoric, I got to give and receive feedback through the whole writing process with actual input, which was really nice. And developing that teamwork, communication, feedback, it was really interesting. So I feel more confident being able to maybe help somebody with their paper now. So from there, we can go to my PSA, which was my favorite part. I really love technology and getting to have fun. So my PSA was on the importance of literacy. Um, I was able to develop my oral and visual communication skills. I understood the my audience, who I was sending this PSA for. So in this case, it was for parents or guardians, so they can read with their children and encourage literacy. I also was able to ensure that my visuals matched the message, selected the right type of tone to use when I was speaking, and the language to use to make sure it was concise and easy to understand without being too elementary. Um, I also ensured my sources were reliable and not opinionated information over factual. So I did do some research on literacy and make sure I got correct stats and ensured that I was looking at credible sources. I also hope that the PSA was a contribution to the topic of literacy in the United States. So, kind of contributing to that conversation. So, I hope some of my peers saw this and maybe thought about that a little bit more. So, yeah, this is my reflection. I have realized I've grown so much when it comes to writing. I also have a lot to work on. It's going to be a constantly evolving uh, skill that I hope that I never stop learning and continuing to um, advance. Okay, that was it. Thank you.